Thanks, Leroy. I'm just going to take you on a little bit of a journey and introduce the world of supply chain to some of you who may not get a great deal of exposure to it. And I'm sort of going to run through 5 things, just how it's very customer focused, and particularly those of you who come out of shops. I think some of that will resonate with you. How it's a strong team and with clear accountabilities. People know what they need to do, and in Tesco's finest tradition, get it done. We're a diverse team, and we value the exceptional breadth that diversity brings and helps us be successful. But that's about a shared vision and eventually having a passion for results and actually making it happen. Be quite interested, just have a bit of a show of hands. Who here on a day-to-day basis in their job needs to think about Tesco's supply chain? Okay, reasonable handful. Glad to see the leadership team with their hands up. That's very good news. Who here on the day-to-day basis in their job is thinking about the change in the weather at the moment and what that's going to mean for their stores and what's going on? All their weekend activities. Okay, fair few hands. I think just about everybody's thinking about finally getting some decent weather. In supply chain, what we're thinking about at the moment in the weather, so that you don't have to think about supply chain in your day-to-day business, is the fact that the 5-degree rise in temperature, as we're moving from 18 degrees up to say 23 degrees, sort of just what we're seeing out there at the moment, that means our customers are going to want 45% more lettuce. 45% increase in our lettuce sales. 300% increase on barbecue meat, on flavoured meat that we need to get into your stores, into your shops. And 25% less on your Brussels sprouts. And that's a pretty big impact to your waste bill. People aren't eating them at this time of year. That's what we have to manage. We have to manage how that customer demand changes. And actually on a day-to-day basis, supply chain just runs. The reason we need talent, and we need diverse talent, and the reason it's a great opportunity for people who want to get on and we'd really like people to know about it, is because it's about managing customer demand when things change. So putting the customer first. What's it all about? Well, this is the journey we've been on in Tesco over the last 5 years. That chart just up at the top left shows how customer satisfaction with availability in Tesco has moved. And that's what we've been trying to land. So in 2008, we're sort of down here, looking at around 55% of customers telling us that they're very satisfied with availability. By 2011, at the end, we were moving that up to 75%. Three quarters of our customers tell us they're very satisfied with the availability in Tesco. And actually over 95% tell us they're satisfied or very satisfied. And what do we do to try and deliver that? So it's about forecasting sales and ordering stock for stores, accurate forecasts, managing events and promotions, and getting as much done centrally so that we don't have to put the pressure back on the shops to try and have to get it right. It's about improving store processes, so working with the stores and all our colleagues for accurate stock records, stock reduction, and actually security and loss prevention as well. And about how do we manage depot stock and supplier ordering. So how do we make sure we work very closely with distribution, with the commercial teams, to make sure that we've got the right amount of stock in our distribution centres. How do we work with our suppliers to make sure they're flowing their stock through at the right time? And how do we then work with the likes of Mars to make sure that actually they understand what our customer needs and that they're actually lined up to deliver for the customer that we have to serve day in, day out. So we need a strong team to do that. And I thought I'd just sort of run you through what the departments within the supply chain function are, so that you can have a bit of a think about what all these people are actually doing for you. Steve Garton's the business leader, leads UK supply chain and the group blueprint. We've then got store ordering and stock control, looking after events, helping you manage your waste, running our promotions team and looking at the stock control routines. We run a supplier ordering team who works with our suppliers on a day-to-day basis around availability, managing how we use our distribution centres, regular reporting and insight and stock reduction. Development. We are very much at the front of technology and innovation. If you're in Tesco and you're interested in technology and innovation, supply chain's a great place just to dial into, whether you're interested in working with us or whether you just want to know what's going on. We have a team that looks after that, really focused on sales forecasting, understanding what the customer's going to want when. Systems, processes, automation and waste reduction. I look after shrink for my sins. So I manage our corporate unknown loss budget. There's a big cross-functional transformation plan, so I'll be working with a lot of you, I'm sure, over the next year, and introducing the modern stock take. Security comes into supply chain, so the whole UK security ops, there to support stores when they need help when things do go wrong. How we keep our stores a safe and secure place to shop, and how we make sure we're well engaged with the appropriate authorities, such as the police, when we need them. And finally, supporting the business plan to get into general merchandise. So a lot of accountabilities, and actually structured to make sure we deliver them. And it's the diversity across the team that's helped us. So this again, it's the leadership team. At work level 5, Steve Garton, 34 years with Tesco. Across stores, across commercial, across supply chain. So gaining a breadth of experience. Paul, leading store ordering, again 22 years in shops, came in to do simpler for stores and recently took over the stock control and ordering portfolio. In supplier ordering, different profile. Tom Hebbert, running supplier orderings, just been with us for 7 years. Started life as a hedge fund analyst. Worked for P&G, so for one of our suppliers. And in marketing agencies. Degree from Cambridge. And the systems and development, we've got Vishal. You know, Vishal did his degree, grew up in India, has worked across Asia, the US, Europe, and that's before he joined Tesco. He's held a variety of positions across supply chain and does electronic engineering. You've got me doing shrink, spent some time as an officer in the army, 4 years working in small business. So actually working in business with sort of, starting off actually we only had 3 or 4 people, got up to about 15, 20. You know, those of you who work in Express, I'm sure know a lot about having to work in a small business and be able to do everything and turn your hand to whatever's needed. Great experience. Security and loss prevention. Clive Timmons joined us 3 months ago. So again, new guy to the team, did 25 years in the Met. Led the flying squad and the Serious Organised Crime Agency. Most recently, ran the Olympics intelligence operation. So great recruit for Tesco, but just started. Needs your help, needs to be working with you out there. And finally, Tony Mitchell, another lifer, 35 years, looking at the GM portfolio. 12 years as a store manager. So again, another person who spent a lot of time in one part of the business and has come into the centre and made a successful contribution to supply chain, led new stores, 7 years as the supply chain director. So the leadership team is thoroughly diverse in their backgrounds, and actually I can guarantee you that the teams coming in behind that and supporting them and working in their departments are similar. But what we do have is we have a shared vision. You know, we're a diverse team, but we're going on one journey together, and that's why it works. It's about customers, availability, shelves, recognising that Tesco can be a leader on availability. It's about stores, making sure that our colleagues in stores have interesting jobs. Depots, how do we make sure that what we do in depots makes life easier in our stores? And getting it right in the office. And we have a roadmap, and that's the journey that we've been on. And then sort of the final thing to mention about supply chain is it's thoroughly about having a passion for results. You know, it's a great opportunity to make a difference. We shave 0.01 off the corporate waste bill, and we put £2 million on the bottom line when Philip next goes back to the city. Yeah, it's small improvements Well, what looks like a small improvement has a big fundamental difference to what this company can deliver. And this is just some of the things that have been done over the course of the last 5 years. So better weather orders, we just talked about weather earlier, 6 million quid less summer food waste, and improved availability for our customers. Better depot ordering, we now run our depots with £100 million less stock in them than we had 5 years ago. Simpler store interventions, we now ask the teams in the shop to make 99% fewer changes to our ordering systems compared to the world we were in, again, 5 years ago. And this is the journey we've been on, and it's the journey we continue. Okay, so that's it from me. What I'd just ask at the end is if anybody's got any questions out of interest about where we're going next, about what my experiences have been, or what future opportunities would be, then this should mean for once in a networking session at the end. I'm not the person left by myself with no one to talk to. So if you'll come and find me at the end, I'll be happy to have a broader chat with you. Hopefully that's been a reasonable introduction.